This is the My4 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Sponsored by Rensselaer Honda.
And welcome to Shaker High School for Game 1 of our Section 2 High School Basketball 8-game schedule here on My4, the home of Sam Perkins. Spent 17 years in the NBA, played here for 2 years, graduated in 1980, All-American, won a national championship in 1982 with North Carolina. He played right here for 2 years. This guy, former player Bishop McGinn, former player College of St. Rose, Steve Sgambolori, back with us for a new season. Good to have you back, Steve. And what a matchup here tonight. We get to see the defending state champions from Shaker right out of the gate.
I'm excited to see how they respond. When you win a championship, Raj, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be good the next year. Shaker lost some guys. They got some really good ones back too, though.
They certainly do. Let's talk about some of the players to watch for in this game. Let's go to Shen first, and they got a senior guard in Jacob Stewart.
I was impressed. I saw Jacob last year, and I saw him a couple days ago when they had a nice win at LaSalle. And I tell you, the biggest difference in his game, from my standpoint, his strength really jumps off the page. When you see him in person, he's clearly spent some time in the weight room, and now he gets to the rim. He finishes off 2 feet, a really good all-around player.
And when you talk about Shaker, you talk about perhaps the best point guard in the area, certainly one of, and bless the man.
Well, he's really one of the best guards in the area. For my money, he's probably the best point guard in the area. He controls tempo and pace better than most guards at the high school level. He scores in a variety of ways. I'm a big fan of his and excited to see him play his senior year.
Now, they'll be without Melvin Brown tonight, has a knee injury from football. They'll get him back sooner than later, but he will not play tonight. But still, 3 of their 5 starters from that state championship team are back. For Shenendehowa, they lose 4 starters, and their best player went to prep. All right, what's the matchup look like? What are what are your keys to the game here, Steve?
Well, I think for Shen specifically, you need Stewart and Will Connolly to really be elite. They're going to have to score the ball. They're going to have to shoot the ball well. In typical Shen, they're super unselfish, so they're going to need other guys to score. I tell you, they're also undersized, Roger. They're going to really need to focus on winning the glass. Their biggest guy listed at 6'4". You look at Shaker, they go 6'5", 6'5", and 6'6", right off the starting 5, so a clear size disadvantage for Shen. And if I flip it over to Shaker, I think you got to establish Marcelin Mukendi right away. He is a matchup nightmare for any team that he plays. He can score in a variety of ways. One of the best players in the area. He's got to get going early tonight.
All right, should be a good one. Nice crowd filing in here at Shaker High School, a rivalry game to begin with. Shaker and Shen coming up on My4, WNYA, also streaming on our YouTube channel. The opening tip, the starting lineups coming right up. And we are set to go here for our first game on WNYA My4. Nice to have you with us, Roger Weiland, Steve Sgambolori, and it's Shaker against Shenendehowa. And both these teams have played one game. Shen had a victory over LaSalle, 68-54, and Shaker lost to Canasari out of Brooklyn. Really good team. It was 64-58. Tap controlled by the Shaker Blue Bisons. Blessed demand, the guard at 5'10". We'll set the starting lineups for you. And the drive by Marcelin Mukendi, and missed the lay-in from the left side, and quickly in transition for Shen. They will not shy away from doing exactly that, shooting the 3-ball, and that's Jake Osborne knocking it down.
What a great start. If you're Coach Yaddo and Shen, you love seeing Jake Osborne get on the scoreboard early. Other guys are going to have to make shots, and that's a really good start for Shen.
Shen opening up in a man-to-man defense. You will see maybe a little 2-3, 3-2 zone out of them. But both these teams like to get after it man-to-man.
Yeah, and you see the first couple possessions from a coaching standpoint, you can really see a game plan. What is each team going to try and do? Switching man-to-man for Shen, doing a good job second possession.
Good defensive set here. Mukendi's shot off the mark, but the rebound, Taligi on the inside, and the putback is good. That is Anthony Taligi, 6'5" senior, and they are going to have a height advantage, as you pointed out in the pregame show.
No doubt, and you get 2 feet in the paint with Taligi with his size advantage. That's something you have to avoid if you're Shen. In that case, your first shot defense was actually pretty good, but Taligi, big and strong, 6'6", takes advantage inside.
Yeah, Taligi and Mukendi and Demand, all part of that championship, state championship team from a year ago under head coach Eric Husel.
and you would expect that Shaker, home opener, good atmosphere. They may play a little bit too fast early on. Got to get those early jitters out and settle in.
Will Connolly handling the ball, and a nice dish out into the corner. A three-point shot is good again. That is Osborne. He's hit back-to-back threes. And on the road here, Shen has opened up a 6-2 lead.
And that won't show up in the stat sheet, but Will Connolly getting 2 feet in the paint, making a teammate better, really was the reason for that basket. And Osborne's feeling good, 2 in a row.
Ryan Church with the basketball. Nice move, and the reverse layup is good. Taligi has all 4 points, and a quick timeout by Paul Yatta. Paul Yatta in his 5th year as the head coach, replaced Tony DeZikas back in the day. Tony winning us, and we talked about Sam Perkins, right? Well, I guess at Shenendehowa, there's a pretty good player that is playing in the NBA these days right now, Kevin Herter.
Kevin Herter, coached by Tony DeZikas. That was such a magical time for Shenendehowa basketball. Tony, such a tremendous coach. Obviously, Kevin, great player at Shen, great NBA player, great college player. You can sort of see now early on what Shen's plan is. They understand they have a clear size disadvantage, but by pressuring the ball, you try to take away vision, meaning you don't let the ball handler see inside. So maybe that height advantage that Shaker has can get neutralized. Easy to say on paper, tough to do, though, early on. But Shen's doing a good job so far, first couple possessions.
All right, no press here by Shaker, and Shen will bring it up. Will Connolly, 6'4". I think we're gonna go 6'3". How about that on Will Connolly? I don't think he's quite 6'4" as it's listed. And there's Stewart. Just a quick release. That one was down and came out. One of the quickest releases you'll see in Section 2. He puts it up in a hurry.
He gets his feet set. He's a really good shooter. Now on that miss, you see how fast Shaker can get down the floor with Bless Demand. They get down really fast.
O'Shea guarding Demand. The matchup there. Getting the ball screen from Taligi. Shot clock at 10. Long three-point shot are way off the mark by Rayburn. A rebound to Taligi, and we're going to have a foul on the floor against Shenendehowa.
So you see Taligi's already causing some problems inside. Everything's switching up front for Shen, especially ball screen, which is fine. They're doing a good job of keeping the ball in front. But again, that second shot is coming off the rim, and Taligi, if you don't find him and get a body on him, he could create some big problems as this game sort of wears on.
So O'Shea goes out, and Kevin Sahowski, 6'3" senior, checks in for Shenendehowa. And a block on the inside by Stewart. There's Taligi, though, getting those rebounds and going back up strong, and another block. That's Sahowski, who's an energy kid coming off the bench. And the drive way up off the glass and is no good by Osborne. Quickly Demand in transition.
Yeah, but I think the more you can play this game 5 against 5 in the half court, if you're Shenendehowa, that's kind of what you want. Shaker's got to keep pushing and try and get some easy baskets. I think they only have, one easy basket so far.
Yeah, Shaker. I think Shaker wants to go faster than Shen. I think that is fair. And that is Church with a good look from the left wing. No good. A rebound and a foul on Taligi.
If you look up, if you're Eric Kusel, you haven't shot the ball well halfway through the first period. I still think, playing a little bit fast, playing a little bit too quick. You just really need your team to sort of take a breath. And they'll do that as this game wears on. But it's a great atmosphere in the gym. And like I said earlier, you're going to play a little bit faster, a little quicker than normal early on.
Nick Romano up top to Stewart. Romano drives baseline, gets an open look in the corner. That one is no good. Pretty good look by Connolly. Can't get it to go, and here comes the transition. Mukendi, nice feed. Layup is good. And the bucket by Rayburn, and we're all tied up at 6.
And you see that speed again. Great pass by Marshall in there inside. Easy basket for Shaker. Just what you want.
Romano down underneath to Stewart. 15-footer. Too strong off the back of the iron. Demand will push in transition. Trying to slice into the lane. That's a pretty good job defensively by Shenendehowa.
Well, if you can keep him in front of you, and that's a hard task, But that's where you want to be. And they've been doing a really good job so far, Shen, building their defense through the paint, switching ball screen. Let's see what they do with this one.
Demand into the lane, whistle, and a foul. And he's going to shoot 2. And let's see who this goes against. That's against Jake Osborne.
When you watch, especially from my perspective, when I watch players try to pinpoint what their college skill or what one of their college skills could be. And I think Bless's college skill is really going to be getting the basketball to the paint and making people better. He can get the ball down the floor faster than anybody that I've seen in a long time. I mean, Daniel Smalls comes to mind from last year as maybe equally as fast and quick down the floor. But Bless is right there. I think an underrated college skill that he has is getting the ball to the paint.
Demand makes 1 of 2. Shaker takes its first lead of the game, 7-6. Stewart on the left wing, draws a little double team. Now he attacks the glass, and he's going to the line, and this is going to go against Taligi, and that's going to be 2 on Taligi, and I think you see Coach Cuse will go to his bench here.
And Shenendaho, what they're doing a really good job at. And again, I'm big on these little things that won't show up in the newspaper or won't show up on highlight videos. But they're doing a really good job of getting the ball to the painted area, as Hubie Brown would say. And when you get the ball inside into the paint, some good things are happening. They're getting a lot of good draw and kick. That time Stewart gets all the way to the rim, draws a foul on a big for Shaker. I mean, Taligi coming out now. Let's see if that shifts anything in terms of the inside presence for Shaker.
And Stewart makes them both. Shen regains the lead 8-7. Griffin Durant, number 4, a 6-foot sophomore, replacing Taligi, who picks up his second personal foul here in the second quarter. 2:50 to go. And the 3 on its way. Just off the bench, Durant misfires from the right wing. And Shen will push. Right to the rim, count the bucket, and 1. Good drive by Will Conley. And the contact, and they'll have a chance at a 3-point opportunity here.
Now, last year, I don't know if he could have made that move or if he would have made that move. There was no doubt with that. I mean, he was going the whole way, head down, 2 feet in the paint. We call that a power finish, gathering yourself, going straight up, taking the contact. You can also see Stewart's been in the weight room a lot. Connolly's been in the weight room a lot as well.
Conley completes the 3-point play. And Shen has an 11-7 lead. 2:30 to go in the opening quarter here on My4, Section 2 high school boys basketball. Demand not getting on track just yet. McKendy for 3. No good. Weak side rebound. Church gets it. Demand. That's for 3 on its way. No good. And up and over the backboard, and it'll be Shenendaho ball. What do you think of the defense on Blessed Demand so far, Coach?
I think Shen's doing a good job of just keeping that paint as compact as possible, and they're doing a really good job keeping the ball in front of them. Mukendi hasn't scored yet. He needs to kind of get some baskets, get some confidence. But I still think everything for Shen's just so fast. They got to take a deep breath. I mean, really, everything's just so fast. Shen's really playing at the pace that they want here.
Stewart with the pass, and on the baseline, a little floater. Good offensive rebound, and we got a foul on Demand. And that's just good hustle play by Sahowski, and that's what he brings. He's got a lot of raw talent coming off the bench, and he's totally an energy guy, very athletic. That's coming from his head coach, Paul Yata.
And you would think on paper, if Shen misses, I mean, Shaker should get 95% of the rebounds. That time they didn't.
Romano gets it into Stewart. Inside 2 minutes to go. Here's Romano. Bounce pass deep on the left side. No good. Look at the rebound by the 5'8 Osborne. Hustle play by Jake. And now Stewart for 3, and it's good. Jacob Stewart. And it's 14-7 and a timeout, Shaker.
This will be a tough timeout for Shaker because if you're Eric Kusa, what you're telling your team right now is you're just getting out hustled and you're getting outworked at both ends of the floor. And sometimes you need to say that to your team because that's what's happening right now. The longer that continues to happen, I mean, Shen's confidence just continues to build and build and build. This is interesting. 14-7, not what I expected, Roger, but I tell you, Shen is very unselfish. They're doing a great job of just simple penetrating and kicking the basketball out, which is forcing Shaker to close out. And smart basketball players, and you're seeing it from Shen, you're going to attack closeouts because that puts the offensive player at an advantage.
And there's the good hustle play that we're showing the replay of right there. Jake Osborne.
So 14-7.
Hustling everybody to the ball at 5'8".
The pace right now favors Shen. I think the longer the game stays in a 5-on-5 half court, it also right now would favor Shen.
Final 120 of the opening quarter, 7-point lead. And that pass stolen and a turnover. They try to get it low to McKendy. And Stewart put up another shot. This one a little off balance, and he slow to get up. Jacob Stewart and holding his hand.
He was holding that wrist a few possessions ago. Looks like he's grabbing the same one.
Sure is. That's Jacob Stewart, the best player on Shen's team this season, 6'2" senior guard.
He just gave a thumbs up to his coach.
That he's okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to have to come out because they stopped the game because of an injury. So the injured player has to come out of the game. Hope he's okay. He's a tough kid, too. You could tell he didn't want to come out. As a player, you never want to come out of the game. He's playing well. His team's playing well. Hopefully, he can get right back in there, maybe get it taped up. He's going to get it looked at now by the trainer.
Liam O'Shea, football player. Played for Coach Clausen, checks in, 5'9", junior guard. Conley with the basketball. Final minute here in the opening quarter. Shen with the ball in that 7-point lead. Shot clock at 5.
They're going to go one-on-one here with Conley.
And the drive, and a nice job defensively by Rayburn.
Let's see if they go quick here and try and get a 2-for-1.
They're looking inside for McKendy, and you can see why. You get that ball down low, and Marcelin McKendy at 6'5" can hurt you.
Good post feed, good catch. And if you're seeing at home what they're doing on every McKendy catch, they're just sending 2 guys at him. They have to double him because they don't have an answer for him. But McKendy, great hands. That was a good catch. Good pass, but an even better catch and finish.
Shen going to try to play for the last shot. And they get a 3 for Romano, and bang, down it goes. Nick Romano. 2 seconds to go at the buzzer. Mukendi, it's no good. And Shenendehowa made 3 threes in that first quarter, and they've opened up a 17-9 lead. And we're going to take a timeout. We're through one quarter on My4 WNYA and the Section 2 high school boys basketball game of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a friendly reminder, the concession stand is open and ready to serve you. Please visit the concession stand located in the H-Gym Garage, where you'll find a variety of tasty snacks, treats, and beverages to meet your taste buds.
Okay.
We thank our volunteers and sponsors for making the concession stand available for all to enjoy.
You all right? So this is their biggest lead, right? 19-7. I like to keep track of like biggest lead. So if they match it or go above it, or 17-9. Oh, 17-9. Yeah.
Wrestler Honda.
And Stewart got it taped, coming back. And Stewart got it taped up. He's coming back.
So Blant, the demand did not score, correct? Less demand did not score 1 for 1 point at the line. Yeah, okay. No field goals, huh? And we are back. Welcome back to My4 WNYA and streaming tonight on our YouTube channel. We're at Shaker High School for the Section 2 high school boys basketball game of the week, and Shen with a good start on the road, up 17-9 as we start the second quarter. And bless the man, the outstanding senior guard from Shaker, with just 1 point that came at the line. So no field goals by Bless here in this first quarter.
Yeah, so much of the game is just sort of identifying a mismatch. And last couple possessions there, I like what Shen did. They've identified a mismatch. Connolly trying to be guarded by Rayburn. That's a tough matchup for Rayburn. Connolly's real crafty with the ball.
Shen gets first possession of the second quarter. And Stewart with the drive, and he draws contact and is fouled. And I think that wrist is still bothering
Honda.
So Stewart, who has his wrist taped up, is at the line. And he was in some pain.
Rensselaer.
$19 to 9 our score. Shen has opened up the lead as we are just underway in the second quarter. Blessed a man. Nice pass to Knox. And Ezra Knox hits the three for the Blue Bison. It's a 7-point game.
Big bucket for Shaker. That's tough to do. Coming off the bench, first touch, first shot. I love that. A lot of confidence by Knox.
Good extra pass. Osborne back to Connolly. On its way for three. Short demand with his fourth rebound of this game, and he draws a foul as Romano tried to reach in for the steal and is called for the foul.
That was a great possession. I mean, you couldn't have done that any better if you're Shenandoah. They passed up 2-3 shots, got a really good shot from one of their best players. You love that. Sometimes the ball doesn't go in, but you're okay with that. Now, if you flip it over here to Shaker, I'd love to see them get something where they're really zeroing in on trying to get Mukendi a touch inside. But to do that, you got to get multiple touches on the ball first.
So a foul that goes on Osborne, and that's his second personal foul. Hunter DePace helping out on the broadcast tonight as well. Mukendi backing in, passes back out on the right wing. Mukendi, so versatile. Can hurt you from the outside, and certainly we've seen what he can do down in low. Excellent defense on demand here in this first half. 3-point shot short by Rayburn. Good hustle and save by Shaker out to the man. He's going to pump up the three, but that's a shot clock violation on Coach Kusel and Shaker.
Well, what you can see, too, is Shen's so zeroed in on Demand and Mukendi, and rightfully so. Every time they touch the ball, they're really making them play in crowds. And what that means is they put the ball on the floor. There's not just one player there. There's 2 or 3 players there just trying to make them become passers versus make them stay as scorers. And that's what you want to do. You want other guys to try to make shots if you're Shaker. You don't want Demand trying to go for 25 and Mukendi trying to go for another 25. You want these other guys to be forced to make shots, and so far it's paying off pretty well here for Shenandoah.
All right, here's the replay on this as we try and see if this was actually a shot clock violation. Did that graze the front of the iron? That's what the officials, I believe, are talking about right now. That shot did not get off in time by Demand.
Yeah, it looked like that shot by Rayburn did graze the rim.
I agree with you.
Just because the way it came off.
Yeah.
So they should award Shaker the basketball here. And of course, if you're blessed the man, you've been struggling for the first quarter. That shot goes in, but it doesn't count. But still, as a basketball player, and the ones that are listening will know what this means, just seeing the ball go in kind of changes your mindset a little bit if you're a scorer.
And they reset the shot clock now at 27 seconds. They run a play for Demand, pull up on the baseline, and Bless knocks it down. Bless Demand. And it's 19-14. Stewart in transition. Extra pass. Romano for three. No good. Nice rebound by Sahowski, but he turned it over. And Mukendi double-teamed in the corner, throws it out and throws it away. And it's a 2-on-1. And Romano, left-handed layup, no good. fighting for it, and Sahowski again came up, but now a dive right in front of our scorer's table. Good hustle all the way around by Connolly and McKendy. Coming right into our table here, Steve Scambolari.
You just love this. I mean, you just love how hard both teams are playing. And I've said this many times, playing hard's a skill. You don't just flip a light switch on and do it. Like, got to work at it. I mean, both teams are playing so hard. Shaker's starting to get, I feel like, a little bit of momentum here.
Stewart in the lane.
That'll end that.
21-14, Jacob Stewart with the bucket for Shenendehowa.
I'm just impressed with just his toughness, and one injury you never want to get. You don't want to get any injuries, but
and Demand with an answer, attacking the glass from the right wing. 21-16. Connolly getting stuck underneath the basket. Sahowski got his own rebound off the miss and feeds to Connolly, and right up over the front of that iron is 23-16 Shen.
So you got blessed 2 buckets in a row. I thought if Shen missed down there would be a good time for Yato to think about a timeout just to get things settled down. But now you see Bless starting to assert himself a little bit, get into the paint, hit a pull-up jumper, then hit a tough layup. So his confidence is starting to build now, too. You got to be careful here if you're Shen.
Yeah, that foul was on Nick Romano, and you're right. I can see Bless the man saying, all right, I'm going to start to handle the ball, get to the rim, attack the glass.
Now, this is a big move here, too, Roger. Let's see if Taligi doesn't pick up his 3rd foul. He's got 2, just came back into the game in 5 minutes
ago. Is that a little dangerous, putting him in with still just under 5 minminutes to go, Steve?
It depends. You defer to the player. The player's got to know going in. You got to be careful, because if he picks up 3, he's got to come out.
Demand. 15-footer, no good. Taligi fought for the rebound, but it goes off of Taligi. And the official there talking to Taligi.
It's tough to keep him out of the game, because when he was in the game, he got his hand on almost every offensive rebound.
No, he is a senior, so he's smart. I'm sure is what Coach Kusel told him. He's on the floor with 2 fouls.
Here's
Shen,
a
I
matchup
think,
they
has
like.
controlled the tempo here.
And they like having Connolly facilitate here against the bigs from Shaker.
Off the miss, Knox gets the rebound. Ezra Knox working up against Jake Osborne. Mukendi with the ball. Backing in. Stewart falls down, and McKendy turned and scored. Obviously, Stewart looking with a charge. No call. And McKendy makes it a 23-18 game.
And I like that play on, and that's a smart play by McKendy. Don't go all the way to the basket. There's a couple guys waiting there. Nice pull-up from about 10 feet.
Stewart somehow gets that shot to go. Jacob Stewart.
He's made some tough shots. His last 2 baskets have been tough makes.
With a wrist that I think is hurting. What a move by Demand. In and out, roll right around the iron. Big rebound and put back by Taligi. And that's why you need him in the game, Steve. 5-point game.
They just don't have an answer for him, does Shen, inside. He's just too physical and too big and strong.
25-20. Osborne kicks out Stewart. Open look. Osborne, he already has 2 in the first half. Misses that one. Demand gets the rebound.
You just sense that momentum shift a little bit, right? They're still down 5, but they're getting more of what they want. They're getting to the paint.
Taligi, that's an offensive foul. He just turned and pushed off against Sahowski, and that'll be 3 on Taligi, and that's what you can't do.
And now he has to come out of the game. Eric Kusel doesn't have a choice. You got to get him out. He can't afford to maybe pick up his 4th. The game changes when he's in the game, and the game also changes now when he's out of the game. So let's see the impact that has now. He's back to the bench with 3 fouls.
25-20. Shen has controlled this from the beginning. Connolly up top to Osborne. Stewart was posted up. Osborne with the dribble. Up and under. No good. Did not hit iron on that. Here comes the man. Open look for Church from 3, and it's good. Ryan Church buried the 3, and it's a 2-point game and a timeout by Shen.
I like the timeout by Shen. They've got to gather themselves. A great pass by Bless. Ryan Church has got to get going, too. He's got to make some shots. So Shaker, like we talked about earlier, Roger, starting to settle in now a little bit, making some shots, getting some confidence back. Smart timeout by Shenendahoa.
25-23. Shaker with a run here, and a 3-ball can make all the difference in the world.
It sure can, especially when you're playing at home, and especially when you're coming off like a tough first quarter. If you're Shen, this is just a let's gather ourselves timeout. A little concerning. Their last couple possessions, they've taken some very tough shots. Stewart's made a couple of them, but overall they've missed a few too. So you want to get back to getting good shots in rhythm. That's a basketball term that coaches and players use a lot. Shen got off to a good start. They were getting shots in rhythm, not forcing anything, and now that's changed a little bit. So let's see how the last 2 minutes here play out.
Steve, Demand has 4 points, but he has 6 rebounds.
He's impacting the game now in different ways, and you can see that. Yeah, great pass there to Church for a 3. I love that pull-up jump shot that he made a couple of minutes ago, and now he's starting to figure out, okay, I can get to the paint essentially anytime that I want, and now he's starting to take an extra dribble and try and get all the way to the basket. So, he's a fun player to watch. He's also gotten a lot better from a year ago. So, he's really rebounded nicely here from a tough first quarter.
And you were looking at the student section of Shaker High School, and Blue Bison producing a nice crowd here in this Friday night for our game of the week. And we'll be right back here next week, Steve, with a girls basketball game. Albany High, Becky Lawson's team in to take on Shaker. And tonight, Shaker girls are at Shenendahoa. We'll have highlights of that game coming up on News Channel 13 Live at 11. Stewart. That was too easy, right?
Yep, little defensive change, too, coming out of the timeout, but not the result that you want if you're Shaker.
27-23. Stewart with another bucket and a 4-point lead. Did I ask Coach Kusel, are you going to run set plays? You run motion? He said, you know what? With this group right now, I'm probably going to run maybe a few more set plays than I am the motion, so I get the shot that I want. And he also was concerned about turnovers. And then right back, demand and a whistle and a foul on Sahowski.
Well, no matter what you can run set plays, you can come up with the greatest plays, but at the end of the day, your players make plays. You can run whatever play is up there, but your players have to make shots and your players have to make plays. I like Shen's defense. They're doing a good job. Again, I've said it. The game is 5-on-5. Right now, this favors Shenendahoa because the tempo is slower.
1:35 to go, and Shaker turned it over. And this is Connolly, and getting back on defense's demand. They're going to call him for a foul. That's Will Connolly off the Shaker turnover, and it's going to be a 2-shot opportunity.
Good steal, good finish. I thought clearly a foul.
In talking to Coach Kusel this week, he did say it. They had too many turnovers in their opening week loss, but it was against Brooklyn or against the team they played out of Brooklyn, New York. That team was very athletic and they had too many turnovers, but he wants to make sure his team does not turn the ball over, and they've had a couple costly ones here.
Yeah, I think as a coach, you anticipate your team's going to have some turnover. Right? They're never going to be perfect, but you want to keep that under 10 as much as possible, preferably under 5, right, in a perfect world. But you're going to turn the ball over. It's really how you handle those turnovers that initially make a pretty big difference towards winning and losing.
Yeah, they played Canasari, a really good team out of Brooklyn. It was 64-58. Pull-up jumper, no good. Too strong by Knox. And here comes Conley in transition. Little Euro step, drops it off to Sahowski, and that's a block by Mukendi on the inside.
He's got such great timing. He gets off the floor so fast, but his timing is really special. I mean, that's a God-given skill that he's blessed with. That time, Shaker just getting out of jail for, that was tough. They almost gave up another layup.
And a foul on Stewart on blessed demand. There have not been a lot of fouls called. If you look at the team fouls, that's only 4, and you don't start shooting those 2 foul shots until a team reaches 5. And neither team has gotten to 5 yet, so we only got a minute to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think the referee is doing a good job calling this game. Both teams being physical. They're letting them play a little bit, but not too much.
Final minute of play, 28-23. Shen with the lead. Demand with the ball. And a whistle and a foul on the drive. And that'll get Demand to the line.
I think when Bless watches this film, one of the things that I'm sure that they will point out, the coaching staff, is when he shows trust in his teammates and when they start making shots, things really open up more for him. And that's a tough thing to grasp as a young player. But when you see Church and Mukendi and Urza a couple possessions ago make shots, things open up a bit more for Bless because you have to pay attention now to these other guys.
Demand with one more. 5 points for Demand. Make it 6. And it's a 3-point game. Final 45 seconds. Connolly with the ball. McKendy up on him and out of Stewart. Guarded by Bawachi, number 13, Kwame Bawachi, 6'2", junior.
Shaker really pushing out a little bit more and bothering the basketball at a higher pickup point.
Connolly with the drive. Misses the shot. Out with the rebound is Church. Up ahead to McKendy. McKendy with a drive. In strong with the lane. No good. Out with it comes Romano. Up ahead to Osborne. Spins in the lane with a right hand, and it's good. In transition with 6 seconds to go. McKendy trying to get a shot off at the buzzer, and the putback no good, and that will do it. And the end of the first half. And a 5-point lead by Shenendehowa, 30-25. What a first half right there, Steve Gambelori.
That was great. That was a lot of fun. Like I said, both teams are playing hard. That last move by Osborne, that was a heck of a move. I mean, spin move, that's tough to gather yourself after you spin and finish. Good for him, good for Shen. 5-point game. It's a great game.
Yep. And we'll talk to the head coach, Eric Kusel, here very quickly. Coach, what the pace, the style of this game, did that suit you here in this first half?
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time right now, we'd like to welcome the T-shirt toss. So we're announcing T-shirts on the way to be tossed. The new teams thrown by us, JV players. So in just a moment, be on the standby.
We're good, Coach. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, that's Eric Kusel. And, I did think that defensively, I thought Shen, Steve, was rock solid in the first half.
They did a really good job. They have a very good plan. Like we talked about, they're making their main guys, Mukendi and Bless the Man, play in crowds. But the foul trouble that Taligi got into really did change the game. They need Taligi in the game much more in the second half.
All right, we'll come back at halftime. We'll be joined by Lee Stevens, the varsity girls flag football coach, and also the Section 2 flag football coordinator, as we're at halftime in Shenendehowa with a 30-25 lead.
From the Royal Bison Club, Albatross Indoor Golf. Chris McCabe, Venture Fox Realty Group. Kristen Brook, Homestead Funding.
Did you want to talk to those things about flags?
Yeah. I talked to her this morning.
We invite you to follow the Booster Club on the web at bostonbooster.org.
That's going to be the new show.
Where you can find us at Insta. Thank you to our boosters. Thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. No, it was on. It was on. The red light is on. It just wasn't working. It was on. It was working. the varsity girls flag football head coach.
That's right.
When I say flag football now in the capital region, people go, oh, that's become so popular. And, man, in a very short period of time, Lee, you've seen this sport grow, and certainly you've had a terrific job here at Shaker High School.
Yeah, thank you. Over the course of the last 3 years, it's been pretty special. We've had from 12 teams to 16 last year, and now we're growing to have 23 varsity programs across the section. So we're really excited about that.
I was going to say next year even more, right?
Yes. In addition to the 16 that we had last year, we're growing to 23.
That's amazing.
Yeah, in 1 year. So that's a huge jump. And then that coupled with the fact that we just got some exciting news and partnership with the New York Giants and USA Football. We're going to be having a grant that's going to be given to us and the section, and we're going to be starting a modified program in the area. So,
and your team, talk about the success of your team last year all the way to the semifinals.
That's correct. Yeah, and we return a whole bunch of kids. They've been committed. They're into it. They're doing everything necessary to make sure that we meet that goal and exceed it, hopefully, in the next year.
Are you surprised at the growth? I mean, I was talking to you this morning that other areas of the state have had flag football for a few more years. How would it work in the capital region? Does this surprise you, the number of teams that and the growth?
Initially, it did. When we first started this, we came into it blind. We didn't really know how the interest would be, but just the amazing aspect is how fast the girls have just the interest has grown so quick and so rapidly. So we're seeing just a tremendous amount of growth overall from all levels, from the little kids all the way through varsity.
And I asked you this morning, I see you'll spot the athletes in the other sports like the basketball team, and the good athletes. Hey, let's see if they want to play some flag football.
Yeah, I mean, because it's new and exciting, so we just kind of thrown it out to a bunch of the girls at the beginning, that play soccer, that play volleyball, play basketball. Come give it a try, and a lot of them took to it really quickly. They love it. It's just something different and new and exciting, and we're just really fortunate to be able to have it growing so quickly.
Well, keep up the great work.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on
Appreciate
your season.
it. Thank you
nice
so much.
You, that's Lee Stevens. She is the head coach of the flag football team here at Shaker High School. We're going to step aside. When we come back, I'll be rejoined by Steve Scambalori. We'll have some stats and first half highlights as Shenendehowa leads Shaker 30-25 on WNYA, My4, and the game of the week.
you're thrilled. You're playing well. Got to keep the tempo to your pleasure. You got to keep the tempo where you want it. If I'm Shaker and you told me at halftime that my top two players in Demand and Mukendi were not going to be in double figures and I'm only down 5, I think I'd be okay.
Yeah, here's the thing with Mukendi, though. He'll start the second half with 3 personal fouls.
Well, he's got 3 and Taliji's got 3. We've seen the difference Taliji can make. And I think he's got to stay in the game for the majority of the second half if Shaker's going to pull this one out.
The pace right now favors Shenandoah Hall, right? They want it. They're a little bit more into the half court. Although they have scored off turnovers here, I think Shaker would like to speed this up a little bit.
For sure. Shaker wants to get going a little bit more, get some easy baskets. If you're Shen, you want this game to be 5-on-5. If I'm Shaker, I got to throw the ball inside, but the old school basketball purist in me is going to say, you've got to reverse the ball first, let that defense expand, and then throw it in.
So Demand has, I believe, 6 points in the first half. What are you telling Blessed Demand here at halftime?
I would tell him and his teammates, every possession, you could just feel it. It's palpable. It feels like they're trying to make a 10-point basket. And obviously those don't exist. You got to take a deep breath. I think you reverse the basketball and you have some confidence in yourself and your teammates, and then you get this thing back to where you want it.
And Steve, you know how this game works. We talk about, the guys that are the star players, if you will, but it's always some of those guys that are coming off the bench that are making the hustle plays or making some 3-point shots.
Well, to win a game like this, you need other guys to step forward and make some shots. Shen got off to a great start with Osborne, knocking down back-to-back threes there early on.
Yeah, and here's some highlights in the first half with the Shenandoah and getting after it, hitting that 3 ball right there. And Jacob Stewart looked like he's playing with that injured wrist a little bit, but back comes Shaker, and not again. The 3 ball makes all the difference in the world, and Ryan Church has a nice stroke from the outside.
It really does, and he's, again, one of those guys that you need him to make a couple more shots now to kind of open things up for Mukendi and specifically Bless.
And he still looks like he's hurting there with that left wrist, but I can tell you he'll be out there to start the third quarter. When we come back, the second half is coming up as Shenandoah with the 5-point lead on Shaker, 30-25. All right, was anybody in double digits?
Jacob Stewart has 13. That's the man, the leader for Shakers, got 7.
I don't know. Stuff in my ear like Rensselaer Honda and Open or something. Was that? Oh, okay. Jacob Stewart, Steve, with 13 points.
Both teams probably feeling okay right now. Shen a little bit more than Shaker. I think, Roger, the first 3 minutes here really important for Shaker. You're at home. You've settled in. You're clearly talking about some adjustments or maneuvers you want to make at halftime. I think the first 3 minutes here, really important. You want to crank it up here if you're Shaker early.
I love the crowd too. We were wondering, are they going to fill up the seats here? And you know what? As they got close to tip time at 7 tonight, it's a very nice crowd here, and good support from both student sections. There's a rivalry game, Shenandoah and Shaker, and very early on in this high school basketball season, and our first game of the year for Section 2 high school basketball on WNYA and My4 and streaming on our YouTube channels. Shaker with the ball to begin. Bless the man. And keep an eye on Taligi, 34. He's got 3 fouls. They're going to get him the ball, and that's what he can do. Hurt you on the inside, and just like that, it's a 3-point game.
I mean, they've got to just get him more and more involved. It's amazing the impact that he's having on the game when he's in the game.
Romano with the drive. Connolly top of the key. Sahowski, and I like how this young man plays, 12, and does a really good job setting the ball screens. Osborne with a drive. Can't get it to go on the little floater in the lane, and McKendy gets the rebound. 3-point shot is good. That is, you talk about a guy making a difference. Ryan Church, that's his second 3, and that ties the game at 30.
He just stretches the floor because you have to pay attention to him, and you've got to guard him.
It's a 5-0 run to begin this second half to tie the game for Shaker.
Got to go right back inside if you can. You don't want to change up anything right now. You want to throw it right back inside, see if you can establish Taligi again.
Yeah, Taligi guarded by Sahowski. And that's Rayburn, and that's a 3, and that's good. Sam Rayburn, 6'6" junior. And that is an 8-0 run, to start this second half. And an answer by Jacob Stewart, who now has 15 points in the game.
He's done that twice. Shaker's gone on a little bit of a run, and he's quieted the crowd and quieted things down. He's really broken that run.
Mukendi lost control of the ball, turned it over. Stewart up ahead to Osborne. Back to Stewart. Stewart with the drive, bounce pass to Sahowski down low. It gets away, and they turn it over. And here comes the man attacking the glass. Nice job defensively by Romano. Guarding demand, and now Osborne back the other way, gets an open look, and that is a 3-point shot that is up and no good by Nick Romano. That would have been a big 3 right there. And he had a good look open at the top of the circle. Church have himself a nice game from the perimeter.
Let's see what we go here.
Shaker has the lead. 33-32. Mukendi. Look at the big man. Handle the basketball, get to the glass, and get fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Now, you rarely see the point guard set a ball screen for your power forward.
Right.
But that's
so true.
how they did that. And again, that Marcelin getting to the rim, getting fouled, he's still playing in crowds just an awful lot. And I think one of the things that you're going to be concerned about if you're Shaker, especially when you watch this game back on film, this has got to change. They're chasing an awful lot in the half court, meaning Shen's able to get by them, draw, kick, and then they're chasing again. So Shen's doing a good job of getting to the paint and getting by your initial first defender if you're Shaker. And when you're chasing on defense, that's never a really good recipe for success.
McKendy got them both. And the Shaker Blue Bison taking a 35-32 lead with a strong start to the third quarter.
I also don't think it'd be a terrible idea to back up your defense a little bit. Maybe you say don't go past the 3-point line and really emphasize that size advantage that you have.
And the drive and a block on the inside. On the drive by Romano, it'll be Shen ball.
And you kind of see it there. That time they didn't chase and they didn't get by. And you try to finish over Mukendi, that's going to be tough to do.
15 to shoot. Romano takes the ball out. Gets it to Stewart. Quick release. 3-ball on the way and good. Unofficially 18 points in the game for Jacob Stewart, and we have got a tie game at 35.
And that's just the breakdown if you're Shaker, right? Nobody popping out on maybe one of the best players in the gym, maybe the best shooter in the gym. This is a scouting report breakdown on that one.
Rayburn to Lee G, swing it to Church. Back to demand. Guarded by Osborne. Now to Taligi. Backing in and a blocking foul. Are they going to count the bucket? Blocking foul is called on Sahowski. They have not said, and they're going to count the bucket.
Now
So it's an and one opportunity. And the official going over to talk to Coach Yata.
So that possession, what was the difference in that possession from a lot of their other possessions if you're Shaker? They move the ball and they reverse the ball, and it flipped sides of the court, meaning the ball goes from one side to the other. Your defense has to expand, and that's what opens up your inside game.
Taligi's foul shot is good. It completes a three-point play. He has 11 points, and it's 38-35. Shaker by 3. Stewart. Sahowski had actually a look if he would have turned to the basket right there. Stewart, baseline jumper, no good. Taligi the rebound. Up ahead to Church. He's been good from that range. That one's short. Rayburn cleans up the miss and lays it back up and in. And a timeout now by Coach Yata. 4:07 to go. And Shaker, very strong out of the gate here in the second half to grab a 5-point lead. They were down 5 at the half. They're up 5 with 4:07 to go in the third.
We talked about how important that third quarter was. And within the first 2 minutes, I think Shaker had the lead. So they've come out and played really well to start the third quarter. You can see the adjustments that they've made, right? Got to get the ball inside. And defensively, you got to back up a little bit and really use your strength. That last possession, they didn't chase for Shaker. They didn't chase anybody. Nobody went by anybody. And that forces Shen into taking very, very tough and difficult shots.
40-35. Shaker here in this third quarter.
And sometimes people think, well, you have to pressure the ball because that's the job of the defense. And sometimes yes, in this case, sometimes no. Sometimes backing up a little bit, keeping your defense a little bit tighter can create some advantages for you. And I think you're seeing that here play out a little bit on the defensive side for Shaker.
So big possession here out of the timeout. Momentum on the side of Shaker. Shen could really use a bucket here as they do a little counter punch here in this third quarter. But right now, Shaker goes up by 5. And Coach Kusel doing it all.
That's what you do. Is like you coach, you mop the floor, you take the trash out, you call the plays, and you drive the bus.
You've done it all too there, Coach Scambalori. 10 years as the head coach at LaSalle. Nice drive and a foul. Well, I tell you what, I like Stewart's game. He can hurry from the outside and the ability there to get to the rim. The foul is on Sam Rayburn. It'll be a 2-shot opportunity. That's the way to get to the line and get a couple of bucket foul shots and get this to a 3-point game.
He's really just expanded his game, as we talked about in the pregame. Last year, I would say more of a jump shooter. This year, it's great to see him attacking the rim more, and I think he's just playing with much more confidence. He's gotten a lot stronger. His upper body just looks completely different than it did a year ago. And he's a really good player, solid defender, a good offensive player as well.
Got them both. That should get him to 20 points to lead all scorers. Jacob Stewart having a night. And his team now down by 3. Kendi, Taligi, and a foul from behind going against Sahowski at 6'3". Taligi at 6'5". Non-shooting foul. 3:44 to go here in the third. Good opening game tonight to begin our Section 2 high school basketball game of the week.
A little horn set there in the half court. You throw it to one elbow and you just dive the opposite elbow down, and that was Taligi. The referee's got to settle things down a little bit. It's a physical game. You don't want it to get a little too physical.
Demand underneath his own bucket. Gets it out, and that's Rayburn for 3. And he was wide open, and he didn't miss.
One of the great ways that you can tell if a guy's a shooter is when he lets the ball go, you watch his teammates on the bench. When they all stand up, you know that they've seen him make a lot of shots in practice. That time, Rayburn knocks it down. It's a big shot for Shaker.
And Shaker's biggest lead of the game at 6 points now. Sikowski to Conley. Conley with the drive in the left hand. That's a nice move across the lane by Will Conley, 43-39.
And another tough shot and a tough make from Conley.
DeMann trying to get some space to knock down a three. This young man has been hot tonight, and he stays hot. Rayburn, left wing three. Stewart to Sahowski. Romano feeds Stewart for three. No good. Look at that. 5'8" Osborne. A hustle to get another loose ball rebound. Romano up and under, and he scores. Nick Romano, the 6'1" junior. And it's a 5-point game with 2:30 to go.
I like that. Going right at Taligi, trying to maybe see if he can pick up his fourth. And look, you're Rayburn, you're making shots. If you're Shen, are you okay with that? It's not Mukendi, it's not Demand.
And bless the man, just powering his way that time. Steve Scambalori to the rim. Little bump here and a bump here, and he just kept going and laid it in with the right hand.
Yeah, he's unique because once you get on his shoulder, I mean, he dips that shoulder down and just explodes past you. I mean, so Bless also, just like Stewart did in the offseason, Bless has really increased his strength. He's a powerful guard. And once you get into him, he just puts it in second gear and goes by. So a good finish. Coach Kusel with a timeout, maybe talking about some adjustments or some areas that you need to focus on a little bit. I still maintain when they back up their defense, that's the better equation for Shaker.
Well, we talked about, as you see the replay here, Bless the man getting around Osborne, attacking the glass and laying it in, and he's got 9 points. We talk about guys that, making shots that maybe not that you necessarily count on to score a lot, but Sam Rayburn has 15 points in this game.
Well, if you're Shaker, you knew coming into the season, not this game, but you knew coming into the season, you need other guys to make shots. It can't just be relying on two guys. And the more shots that your Churches and your Rayburns make and your Taligis make, my opinion, just makes Shaker a lot more dangerous.
48-41 out of the timeout. Late stages now, the third quarter. 2:14 to go, 48-41. Shaker with the lead. They were down by 5 at halftime. The Class AAA defending New York State champions, and they're doing this without Melvin Brown, who will be back, and that'll make them awfully dangerous because Brown is the glue guy without question on this Shaker team. Connolly, shot clock at 15, sees a crease into the lane with the right hand, rolls in and out, no good. Taligi with the rebound. And a pass up to Demand.
I'd go try and go right back inside here.
3-point shot, good. There's Demand. And he now has 12 points. 3 ball by Demand, and a double-digit lead by the Blue Bison for the first time tonight. Up 51-41, and a foul. A foul away from they call a timeout. A timeout. Yata calls a timeout as Shaker opens up a 10-point lead with 1:32 to go.
So a little bit of a danger zone right now for Shen. Right? You have to call a timeout. If you don't want this game to get away from you, you want to finish the last 1 minute, 32 seconds as best as you can if you're Shenendehowa. And I think Bless, I say get the ball inside, or you could just do that and bang a three from the top of the key. But I think for him, the game is kind of slowed down a little bit. I've seen him take like a mental exhale. And when you do that, when you can slow yourself down, things open up for you. You're seeing him get to the basket, get fouled, that time make a three. I mean, it's just a matter of time, right, Roger, before your best players really start to crank it up, and you're seeing that here for Shaker.
Yeah, the pace and the flow in the first half favored Shenendehowa. The pace and the flow in the second half certainly favoring the Shaker Blue Bison.
And we'll see now. If you're Shaker, you want to keep this going. You want to expand this lead, extend this thing out. You want to be up 10 now. You'd like to be up maybe 14 or 15 heading into the fourth quarter. So, two different strategies here coming out of this timeout. But I do think, believe it or not, a minute and a half is not a lot of time, but it's a pretty big minute and a half for both teams.
Hey, look, this is a Shen team, too, with Coach Yata. They lost 4 starters from last year's team, and their best player, Ibrahim Bagad, I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, but he went to prep school. So this team is not tall, but they are scrappy, and they do play hard. And I thought in the first half they were outstanding defensively. But Shakers come out. They made some adjustments here, and they have owned this third quarter and have built now a 10-point lead. Inside, wide open, and Sahowski lost control of the ball. An easy lay-in, and Connolly misses the three. Oh, boy. That slipped, just literally slipped right out of his hands. He had a layup. And Church is just on fire, knocking down another three. Ryan Church and Sam Rayburn have made a lot of threes in this game.
Got to be careful here, though. If you're Shen, you don't want this thing to get away. You really need a good possession here.
It's been such a good game up until this point. Osborne started the game out great, and I don't think he called bank there, but boy, that was a big shot.
That counts no matter what, whether it's off the bank or not. You still get 3 for it. That is a humongous basket for Shenendahowa, and they desperately needed that.
Yeah, because the lead went to 13, their biggest lead of the game. Now back to 10. Final 30 seconds here of this third quarter.
And if you're Shen, now you got to guard everybody, right? Everybody's making shots. That makes it more difficult. I like the switch here. Now going back to zone, looks like.
15 seconds, about a 5-second differential, game clock, shot clock. And that is Rayburn for 3, and that one's no good off the back of the iron. Rebound, Romano. 5 seconds to go. Stewart could have taken one more dribble, launches one deep, and no good, and that will end the first half. He might have been able to get one more dribble, got a little bit closer, but that was a big 3 by Osborne. It ends in the dominant third quarter by Shaker. And then we come back to begin the fourth quarter. It's a 10-point lead. Shaker 54 and Shenendahowa 44 on My4.
The Bison Stampede Club, compliments of Baker Public Relations, Century House, Colony PVA, Peak Performance, Precision Barrel, Stewart Shots, High Mark.
Do you know how many threes like Church and Rayburn have made? Five has threes. 5 threes. Okay. Yeah, they both have 3 threes apiece tonight. Church and Rayburn.
They can shoot it.
Yeah, they can.
So 3 apiece?
3 apiece.
So an extra 18 points for both of them?
Yeah. Because what's Mukendi have in the game? 3 for Shaker.
Good
Absolutely.
CYO programs.
No doubt.
And really big ones, too. And you're right. That's how you do it, right? You invite them to the varsity games. You develop that community feeling with the team. And, really, really 2 great communities to just be a youth basketball player in.
So Ryan Church has hit 3 threes, and Sam Rayburn has hit 3 threes. 3 threes apiece for Shaker.
Now, I'm curious. I don't think they'll do it, but I'm curious. Let's be on the lookout for a defensive change for Shen. Maybe they go zone to try and knock Shaker off the rhythm a little bit.
An up and under shot by Romano's no good. Shen gets the rebound out to Stewart. Looked like he shuffled his feet, and he did. Traveling violation on Jacob Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't made a lot of mistakes tonight. He's played an exceptional game. I mean, that's just one mistake that he made. But you know what? You make the next one. Here we go. Now they're going low 1-2-2. So it looks like a defensive change. Let's see what they fall back into here.
They turned it over there. Stewart up ahead. Osborne. Romano for 3. Too strong. No good. Rebound the demand.
And the difference is they just made those shots in the first half.
Yeah, 100%. Extra pass there. McKendy for three. Off the front of the iron. Rebound, Shen. Nick Romano hands it off to Stewart. Stewart has 20 points in this game. Just underway in the fourth of a 10-point game.
One possession at a time. You're not a rush here if you're Shen. Getting good shots. You got to make a couple, though.
And we've got a timeout. I think Coach Yata liked the flow in that half-court set. And with 13 seconds to shoot, to your point, in a 10-point game, all these possessions really matter. Let's get the right look here.
I agree. And if you're Shaker, here's what you're talking about in this timeout. You're talking about, okay, we saw a defensive shift, right? They went to a 1-2-2. How are we going to break that? How are we going to handle that? My guess is that they'll fall back into a 3-2 or a zone, but we're going to have to wait and see. But I like the shift away from man-to-man if you're Shenendehoa, just because Shaker's getting really comfortable. They're making some shots. You're seeing Rayburn and Church knock down some shots. Taligi inside. Let's knock them off their rhythm. Sometimes as a coach, you'll do that for one possession, but you got to do something to kind of shift up the momentum and shift the tempo a little bit. I think offensively, if you're Shen, you got to continue to have good possessions. You got to continue to make each other better. But as I said, they made a lot of those shots, off those draw and kicks early in the game. And now as your legs get a little bit tired, you get deeper into the game, things change a little bit, right? I mean, it's different taking shots in the first quarter than it is taking it in the fourth quarter when you've played a majority of the games. So that's just a real thing that basketball players experience.
And you saw Coach Kusel there. As we mentioned, in his 6th year here at Shaker, and prior to that, had a really good run in Gloversville. And has just done a tremendous job here. And I love the fact that Jeff Holmes, longtime Shaker head coach, is right there on the bench.
The first guy I saw when I walked in today.
Hey, Steve, the true definition of a basketball junkie is Jeff Holmes.
He's done. He built this thing.
He did
into something really, really special.
What a tremendous player he was. Really, that Jeff Holmes could really shoot the basketball. So let's see now. With 5 seconds to shoot, that shot by Stewart on its way, well contested by Church. That was good defense by Church.
Now you're in no rush here. You want to take a deep breath if you're Shaker. You want to run your stuff. Looks like back to man here for Shenendehoa. Nothing up, they're going zone.
Mukendi puts it on the floor and lost control and turned it over. Let's see if Shen can take advantage. Stewart, a wide open look for Romano on its way, and good. Nick Romano, big three by Shen.
That was a big one. Shaker got lost there in transition. Let's see how they followed up here.
Hey, listen, we wanted a good opening game, right?
We got one.
We got one here. 54-47. Mukendi, mismatch there. Osborne was underneath. No matchup on that. And the layup is good. Coach Kusel wanted a foul on that, too.
Yeah, it was a great way to break that pressure, too. You flip the ball, go middle.
Stewart hands it off. Conley with a runner in the lane. Can't get it to go. And Shen has just been unable to make some shots that are close to going down.
Seeing a little bit of fatigue setting into, Shaker's had the momentum for all of the third quarter. Trying to finish it out here.
Still 5:25 to go.
And you run your stuff, and you keep running your stuff. And that's what you're doing here. Shen, you got to dig in and get some stops.
Rayburn with the ball. And into the left corner, and it went out of bounds. Who did it go off of? And it was off of Shen, so Shaker will have it with 12 to shoot. Ryan Church will inbound the ball to Demand. Shot clock under 10 now. And Demand with the ball. And that's Rayburn, and that's off the back of the iron. No good. Fighting for the rebound, and Shaker comes up with the loose ball.
We'll take another deep breath.
Yep, a fresh shot clock. Yep, and now with the lead and the ball, now you may be able to work a little bit of clock. Instead, they turn it over again. And Romano to Osborne. To an open Will Connolly, and that's good. And Will Connolly cuts this to a 6-point game.
Another great find by Osborne to maybe, if not the best shooter on the team, one of the top shooters on the team. Shen does a nice job in transition. They run, they push it ahead, they reverse the ball, they get in the gaps, and they find each other. And that doesn't just happen. That takes practice, repetition, and playing together with the same guys for a long period of
And
time.
there's the open look by Connolly, and he buries it. And Will Connolly with 9 points in this game. And that 13-point lead by Shaker in this second half is down to 6 with still 4:39 to go.
Well, you worry if you're a coach, especially of a high school team, and there's probably people in the gym that saw the 10-point lead, 5 minutes to go, and they're like, okay, the game's over with. Well, not necessarily. You don't want Shaker now to play, just let's hurry up and get the game over with. You've got to stay in attack mode. You got to continue to play downhill, and you got to continue to push the ball. Because, again, they got that lead because they threw it inside and because things opened up and Demand started making some shots. So the last thing you want to do if you're Shaker is slow things down and just try and kill the clock here. You got to keep playing and you got to stay aggressive.
Well, Paul Yatta told me his team would be scrappy. Not big,
Absolutely.
but scrappy, and I think that's what we're seeing out of Shenandoah tonight.
Absolutely. And that's Shen has always been those things. Even going back to when I was in high school, they've always been – they play hard. They play unselfish. They're really organized. They know where each other are on the floor. They have great continuity in their program. That's been a mainstay for them.
And Shaker's really good again. And when Melvin Brown comes back, they're going to even be better. Their ball out of the timeout. 6-point game here. 4:39 to 4:29 left in the fourth quarter. Zone defense by Shaker. Nice pass out on the right wing and another three. That's his fourth. That's Ryan Church. He's been a difference maker tonight. Back up to a 9-point game.
And when you go zone, the one thing you can't do is you can't lose shooters. And that time they just lost them.
Stewart trying to get one up off the glass, and he's fouled. And Jacob Stewart will shoot 2 shots.
And that's a fun move for me to watch because it didn't look like from this angle that he had a good angle or he had an opening to take a shot. And Rayburn did a good job, I thought, of sliding with him. But as a guard, if you jump and you jump into the chest of a bigger guy and you can put the referee in a position where they might think that there's some contact, you're going to get the benefit of that call. And that time, even though Rayburn's bigger and taller and longer, I think Stewart did a good job of drawing upper body contact.
And Stewart continues to add to his totals tonight.
Yeah, you see that, just that little bump there is the reason for that foul call.
He now is 21. 21 for Stewart, make it 22, almost automatic at the foul line. 59-51. He's 8 for 8 from the foul line tonight, Steve.
I like this little 1-2-2. Putting guys in weird positions. Great pass.
Great bounce. Great bounce in the finish by Rayburn. 61-52. Nice crossover by Osborne. Romano, swing the perimeter. Connolly has it. Got time here. Osborne with 17 to shoot. Connolly's going to put up a 3, and that one's off the side of the iron. Demand gets the rebound.
That was a tough shot.
Quick pass up ahead. It's stolen. Another turnover. And in for the layup is good by Stewart. And Stewart now with 24 points. Shen's not going away with 3:14 to go in the fourth.
You just sense, just when you think that they're done, they make a big play, that time a steal and a layup. And to your point, they're not going away. Shaker's going to have to finish this thing the hard way.
3 minutes to go. McKendy at that right elbow. Now he dribbles out with it. That's a good ball handler at 6'5". And that's Church. What a night he's had shooting the 3. Rayburn with a ball screen for Stewart, or Demand into the lane. No good. Whistle and a foul. And that goes against Shen. That's on Conley, and Bless Demand will shoot 2 shots with 2:42 to go.
I mean, what a luxury at the end of the shot clock. We get such a great lead guard with the basketball. You put him in a ball screen, and you force your opponent to make a decision. How are you going to guard this? Les gets 2 feet in the paint. I mean, I'll tell you what, for being undersized, he draws an awful lot of contact, and he did again right there.
So late stages here of the fourth quarter. Outstanding opening game tonight. Next week, we'll be right back here for Albany High at Shaker Girls. And there you see the matchup, 7 p.m. Myself, Steve Scambolori, and the crew on My4 WNYA, streaming on our YouTube channel. And there's the drive by Demand, and there's the foul by Connolly, and he'll shoot 2. I want to promote our 9 p.m. news, Steve, that's coming up after our game tonight. You can join News Channel 13 live at 9 for a closer look right here on My4, a nightly newscast diving deeper into the stories that shape the Capital Region. Stay in the know with live coverage of breaking news, plus local interviews and stories that matter to you. Tune in to Live at 9 on My4 for a closer look at the Capital Region.
So now you're resetting the game here, and you got, okay, let's go. 2 minutes and 42 seconds. If you're Shaker and he makes both, it's still a 3-possession game. I mean, you're still okay. There's still a lot of time left, and maybe more importantly, there's a lot of possessions left in the game. If you're Shaker, the absolute thing you don't want to do is give up a 3-pointer on this next possession.
Bless the man, 12 points. Make it 13.
And if you're Shen, nothing changes. Just want quality shots. Want to see if you can get Shaker into a chase mode. But that last possession, Shaker did a nice job of switching ball picks and switching like players.
And he's got them both. The man with 14 points, 63-54, 2:38 to go. Romano working in on Church, leans in, and contact and a foul. That stops the clock. And Nick Romano will get to the line shooting too.
Now, a lot of people would think that switching when you're playing man-to-man is easy, but it's actually difficult because if you don't talk and take, meaning talk the switches and then take the new man, you can really break down pretty easily. So switching, some may think it's easy, but it's actually a little more difficult than regular man-to-man.
Here's Romano with a nice spin in the lane and got in around the defender. Church there, drew the contact, got to the line, makes 1 out of 2.
No rush again if you're Shaker.
No, you got the lead, and you can work a little clock here with 2:15 to go. Bless the man handling the ball. Guarded by Liam O'Shea. They double team him and trying to come on. This is a good timeout by Kusel as they double team the ball, trying to turn it over. And if anything tonight, when Coach Kusel goes back and looks at the tape, probably too many turnovers for his liking tonight. That's a good timeout though, with 12 seconds to shoot. You've got the lead and 2:04 to go.
Yeah, it's no secret what Shaker's going to try to do at the end, to try to give the ball to their best ball handler and arguably their best player and say, go create something. And to Shen's credit, they're going to say, no, we're going to make somebody else do that. We're not going to let Bless do that. So here you are in a timeout. If you're Shaker, you're drawing something up. Don't be surprised again if Coach Addo changes up defenses here, because what's likely happening is that Shaker's drawn up something for man-to-man. Maybe you come out in his zone, you try and steal this possession. It's going to be a quick possession. You only got 12 seconds.
Still an 8-point game and not over yet. Hey, how about the Olympics from the slopes to the rink and everywhere in between? The Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics are right around the corner. Follow along February the 6th through the 22nd with the world's best athletes as they go for the gold in beautiful Italy. From opening ceremonies to the final gold medal, News Channel 13 has your ticket to the Winter Olympics. And there you see the young crowd there. Those are the young guys that have all been invited to the game, all playing in the youth programs, maybe some CDBYL players in the group there. That season gets underway, has already been underway. They go early. 2:04 to go, 12 seconds to shoot. And McKendai gets it in, gets it right back.
This is an ATO after timeout.
And they drew up a shot for Demand. It's too strong, but the rebound is controlled by Taligi. And then a little Euro step, but I think they get him for travel here. That was a tried the Euro step, and sometimes that can go either way, Steve.
I'd like to see that one again, because from this angle, it looked like a clean play. I didn't have the angle on it.
So an 8-point game, not over yet as Connolly drives in. Stuck down on the blocks. Throws it out to Romano. Romano with a drive. Up off the glass. No good. Rebound Taligi to Demand with 1:35 to go.
Now you got to change things up a little bit if you're Shen. Scramble. I like this. Try and take the ball out of his hands.
And a whistle out front on Nick Romano. And let's take a look. You want to see the Euro step that they call a travel on.
Yeah,
Here it is.
I'll play referee here. Let's see.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I'm sitting here at the microphone. I don't have a whistle. Now, this is scramble mode, right? You're just trying to scramble around.
Yeah, and now there's no just a mismatch down low, and he's tough to deal with. Taligi, and I don't know if he even has double figures tonight. It's been a lot of other guys that have stepped up. I mean, Church and Rayburn, I think, have been just fantastic in terms of shooting the basketball.
Yeah, they really have. And I remember we were saying, too, at halftime, like, if Taligi can stay in the game for the third and the fourth quarters, that's going to give them, Shaker, just a big advantage.
And to your point, and he has stayed out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in foul trouble, but he stayed out of it in the second half. And now he has 13 points and 12 rebounds. Hunter DePace doing a great job keeping our stats here tonight. And with us courtside for this game, Hunter DePace was a late ad. I said, Hunter, can you keep stats? Let's join me tonight for a little Shaker Shen game. And it's been a good 10-point game, but this has been fun, entertaining game by two good teams, and I think both those teams will go on and have really good seasons here in the 518 Section 2 basketball.
Now here's a good basketball trivia question for you. When you're up by 10 with 1:15 to go, what don't you want to do if you're Shaker? You don't want to foul.
You do not want to foul.
Just because you can stop the clock, you can set your defense, and you can score points.
This is Connolly bringing it up against McKendai. And again, only 2 team fouls for each team. There have not been a lot of fouls called. Osborne on a backdoor cut to O'Shea. Back to Osborne for 3. No good. Romano with the rebound. In and out. No good. And last touch by Shen. It's Shaker ball with 53 seconds to go and a 10-point lead.
And now this is just a game of keep away. Inbound the ball, run your press break their pressure, take a breath, and you're playing keep away because they're going to have to foul.
We'll get the high score of the game for Shaker. I talk about Church and Rayburn, but McKendy's in double digits. He's got a double-double going right now. And that's been in foul trouble. And Blessed the Man has 14 to lead the way. We've got our post-game show coming up right after this game is over.
And when you look at this game from the Shaker standpoint, everybody had a contribution, which speaks to the strength of your team collectively.
Taligi has the ball stripped by Osborne. Taligi takes it right back, and then we got a whistle and a foul. Oh, we got a timeout. Taligi was tied up, and Kusel got a timeout with 35 seconds to go.
I mean, for my money, I really think Taligi's been the difference in the game. When you look back at this game, why did we win? Why didn't we win? I think I point right to him. He's just been such a massive difference on the glass, scoring inside. He changes the way that Shen had to guard them. Because it was very clear first couple possessions of the game that Shen couldn't handle him inside. He just was too big and strong. I like that they've gotten contributions from everyone. I mean, when Melvin Brown gets back, this team's going to be even better. And to your point, he did so many things for this team a year ago that didn't show up statistically, but he was such a calming influence, another ball handler, another guy that could score.
Mm-hmm. Well, Shen had the lead at halftime. They were up by 5. And then a quick start in the third quarter by Shaker. They built as big a lead as 13. And then Shen came firing back and got it back into single digits. And now it's back up to 10. And Shen would certainly not go away in this game against a really good Shaker team. And when they get Melvin Brown back, we'll see what kind of run they can make.
Yeah, no doubt. And when you extend that lead a little bit, that's when your size and length really also start to impact the game. And I thought you did see that. Shen got a little fatigued. They started missing some shots.
Mukendi in the corner to Rayburn. Still 23 seconds to shoot. Well, Shen's going to have to maybe foul here. Inside layup is good, and that'll put it away. Sam Rayburn finishes off an outstanding night for him offensively. And now, if you're Shaker, you just don't want to foul. because there's only 9 seconds to go. So this one is over. We will talk to Bless Demand, number 1 for Shaker in the post game. He ends up with 14 points, Hunter, to lead the way. But I like some of these other guys that needed to make shots at crucial times. And they did. And that young man's going to have a tremendous season. Jacob Stewart leading all scorers in this game. And that will do it. Final score from Shaker High. It's the Shaker Blue Bison 67 and Shenendehowa 57. We will come back on our post-game show, and we will talk to our player of the game, the 5'10 senior guard, Bless Demand from Shaker High School. That's next on WNYA My4.
Volunteers who made tonight's game possible. Everybody, please drive home safely. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Does this microphone work now? I guess it does. Is this me? Turned it on. It's on. 1, 2. I don't think this microphone is not working. Yeah. I might do that. Still not working. It's just not. I just put it on my head and turned it on. It's okay. Is it on now? There we go. There we go. And we are back at Shaker High School. Final score, Shaker 67 and Shenendehowa 57. Shaker was down by 5 at the half, came back to win the game, and we are joined by my partner, Steve Scambolori, and the player of the game is Bless Demand. Congratulations, Bless, on the win, and we present you with the winning hat from our high school basketball game of the week player of the game.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Wear it proudly, Bless. Congratulations on that, my friend. And what was the difference in the second half?
Coming into the game, I felt like we were being selfish. So coach told us we got to push the ball in transition because that was the game plan in the beginning of the game. But, coming back off the state championship win, I feel like everybody was just amped up. And then halftime came. Coach told us we got to play in transition, get back on defense, and that's what we did.
We felt sitting over here that the first half y'all were playing so fast, trying to almost blow them out quickly. Yeah. How did you get to slow down? Because it was a different team after halftime.
Well, like I said, we came out, we were a little amped up. I feel like we should have, obviously, in the beginning, took it slow. But, yeah, I really don't know. I feel like it's good to be back. Everybody was excited. I felt like we needed that halftime. Coach talked to us, and yeah.
I felt like the flow, the tempo was just the way you wanted that in the second half, unlike the first half. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. What about this team in general? I mean, you won the state championship. You don't have Melvin yet. You will get him back. But what's your couple games in? What are you thinking about Shaker right now?
Right now, we still got a lot of things to work on. We're a new team. We're very young. And once the younger guys start to get in their flow, I feel like in the long run, we should be good.
Okay. Well, congratulations
Thank you.
on being the player of the game, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's Bless Demand
with
those 14 points, and you can Put the headsets down right there. Bless them. We appreciate you, man. Let's take a look at some highlights here, Coach Scambalori. And again, it was the first half. Things were really working for Shen, making the threes. But I thought a couple of the, I don't call them unsung heroes, but the guys that really made big shots to me tonight were Ryan Church and Sam Rayburn.
Yeah, no doubt. And the game is simple, right? The game also changes, and it becomes easier when the ball goes in. And for Shen, the ball was going in the first half, and it wasn't for Shaker. And in the second half, to your point, all these other guys started to make some shots with Church and Rayburn and Tallegian. When they do that, when any team does that, but especially a team as good as Shaker, that changes things.
And we highlighted Jacob Stewart, and he had the 20-plus points tonight and was certainly lived up to the expectations that I thought watching him tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. He showed why he's one of the better players in the area. And, again, that progression that he's made as a player in terms of strength and skills has been pretty impressive.
All right, Steve, nice work. The first of 8, 1 down, 7 to go. Back here next Friday night for the girls, Class AAA. It'll be Shen against Shaker. So thanks to our entire crew on My4 and WNYA. Final score, Shaker 67, Shaker 67, and Shen 57. Good night, everybody.